Hi all, welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to explain command design pattern, and this is the second video of behavioral design pattern. I have already explained complete videos on creational design pattern and structural design pattern. If you miss those videos, I'll put the link in description, so please go and watch, and please like and subscribe to my channel so that you'll get the new videos of other design patterns also, and also new upcoming videos also. So without any delay, let's start the command design pattern. Now let's see how command design pattern works. Before that, how our TV remote basically works. Can we consider every action as a command? Yes. So we have a remote. We basically press a button in the remote. So it will basically sends the command to the TV. So TV is basically receiver. It will execute the particular command. So I am the invoker. Remote is an invoker. An invoker sends the command, and there is the second one called command, and there is third one called receiver. So here basically three things are happening. One is I'm invoking, I'm sending the command, and receiver is basically executing the command. So this is how we can correlate this how remote functionality into the command design pattern, because the example which I'm going to discuss also something similar to remote example only, first example. So in the second example, I will discuss cart example, where basically we'll add something into the cart and remove cart, right, in Swiggy, Zomato, or any e-commerce applications or food delivery applications. Let's see standard definition. And encapsulates a request as an object, thereby letting you parameterize clients with different requests, queuing or logging requests, and support undoable operations. Here, undoable operations is basically whenever you add the data into the cart, right? Let's say you added biryani into the cart, so you can undo basically through remove the data from cart. So which means it will support undoable operations also. Here if you see, there is an invoker, there is a command, there is a concrete command which basically implements this particular command, and there is a receiver which got the command and will executes whatever command. So let's see the diagram. So I'm basically operating the remote. So I'm basically invoker here, execute one command. So it might be, let's say, a smart room or smart home. So where basically everything works through commands, through voice recognition or through commands with remote. So here I was basically pressing the remote to on the light. So I was basically commanding light on command. This light on command has basically an execute function, and also this light on command basically has a complete information of which receiver we are trying to perform an action. So in this case, this is the light object. So this light on command has an execute function. This execute function basically calls the on function from the light object. So this light on command basically has a constructor called light. So this particular light object is already presented in the light on command. It has a complete information. So we explicitly performing an action we call execute on the light. So whenever this particular function executes, it will on the light. So similarly, how many commands are there? So every command basically performs a single operation, and also all the commands work in a sequential way. So that's the basic example of command design pattern. So I have a command, so I have an invoker, I have a command, I have a receiver. So invoker invokes the command, where receiver gets the command and will perform an action. This is how we call as command design pattern. Let's see an example. You'll get the more idea. So I have a remote example. So I have a command which is a single function called execute. So now this command is basically implements different commands. Let's say I have light on command is there. It has a light object. I have a light off command is there, which is also a light object. Basically it is explicitly offing the light. Here it is on-ing the light. Here it's garage is there. I have my main door is there. I just want to operate from here. Just close the door from here itself. So I'm basically closing the door. I have with the help of garage door close command. So it has basically garage information is there. So with the simple execute command, it will close. Similarly for open also, it will simple execute command, it will open. Now let's talk about invoker. Here we call remote controller. In the remote controller, we have slots, we have buttons are there, right? Let's say there are two slots are there. One is basically on slots and one is basically off slots. So in the on slots, I have all the buttons where basically I can on the particular commands. I can execute the particular commands. And the other ways there is off slots. I can basically off the particular. I can perform actions to off the things. So here I have a function called set command, and once I set all the commands, then I'll press the button. We can press the button two ways, either passing a slot ID by directly explicitly mentioning the on button press or off button press. It will directly call the on slots array, or if it is off, it is called the off slots array. If it is general button press array, it will take the slot type. Accordingly, slot type, it will perform on slots or off slots. This is the simple way of program. Let's see the main program to get even more better idea. Like, so we have a remote control object. Remote control object has set command, which will so here I'm passing the 0, right? So here for this slot 0, I have a light on command. So what is the command I was expecting? On the light. So similarly for the set 0, for light off command, first for the slots off. This is like in the on slots array, the index 0, this light on command will be there. In the off slots array, at index 0, light off command. Similarly, on slots array, at index 1, garage door open will be there. And similarly for off, for index 1, garage door close will be there. Now I am explicitly asking, now I am invoking an action, a command to perform an action. When I run this program, I am expecting initially I am owning red, so lights on, garage door opened, lights off, garage door closed. Exactly what I am expecting. So this is how basically command pattern, simple command pattern will work. Now let's talk about like real world example, like how cart data is basically executed. Let's say we have like cart commands types, right? We can add the particular item into the cart, we can remove the particular item into the cart, and we can clear the cart completely itself, right? So these are the commands which I'm trying to execute. So for these commands to perform, I have like interface should be there, right? That like abstract, or it can be interface. So I have like basically cart command executor is there. So it has like one function called execute command. So what is execute command will basically do? It will take the user ID, restaurant ID, and item ID. Let's say if it is add command, right? So for this particular user ID, I need to add this particular item of this restaurant ID. Similarly, remove for this particular user ID, I need to remove an item from this restaurant. So you can for now you can forget like what is applicable and execute command. So when you design whole application, you will get all those things. Before going into details about add cart command executor and remove cart command executor, let's generally understand like what are the models will be there, and also what are the data, what is our data store looks like, so that we can get a more idea when we actually looks how add command and remove command basically executes like. So let's see, we have like data store. We in simple terms we'll call it as repository. So we have a cart data. So in cart data we have like a map of list. The main one is basically called user ID, users, and second map is basically restaurants, and third one is basically called items. So I can add an item, I can add n number of items of the particular restaurant ID, and also I can add as many restaurants I want in my cart. Generally this won't be allowed in Swiggy or all these things, right? In the Swiggy, in Zomato, I think they're restricted, right? Only you can add the cart, you can add the items in a cart of it belongs to single restaurant. Otherwise it will ask you to remove the first one and add the second one. For that, map won't be a good way. You can use the pair, or you can use your custom data structure also, like so I have like a user to restaurant ID to menu ID hash map is there. So when I am getting the menu IDs, so for this user ID and restaurant ID, first I am getting all the restaurant IDs of this particular user ID. After getting, now I am getting all the menu items from this restaurant ID. So here I am passing the user ID. I was getting the complete, if it is user is not there, I was trying to create a user and returning back the complete cart details. Here I am returning back complete user details, user information of cart itself for all users, and this won't be much useful. Let's see like food menu data. In the food menu data, I have like get food menu by ID, get food menu by restaurant ID, and get menu by item by ID. I have models called food menu. Food menu has like IDs and also restaurant IDs and also menu item list. Whenever we bring the menu, right, we have like menu items are there and we have restaurant items also there in a Swiggy. In the menu item we have ID, item name, meal type and price. In the meal type it can be like a dinner, breakfast, lunch, high tea, something like that. So now let's talk about like how add card command executor will basically works. So here we have an execute command is there. I am passing basically user ID, restaurant ID, item ID, right? So first I'll basically fetch the I'll try to check whether the particular user ID is present or not. If it is present, let get the complete restaurant ID and cart item IDs. If it is not there, create an entry. Done. Next thing is like let's say we got some data. From that we are checking, okay, this particular restaurant ID is presented or not. If it is not there, create a restaurant ID. But then finally we are checking whether then at last we are adding the item. So at last we are putting back, and finally we are creating a cart for this particular user. So here the cart entry will basically has user ID. User ID has this particular restaurant ID, and restaurant ID he added like some item. This is how basically execute command will look like for add cart command controller, add cart command executor. So if you see the remove cart command executor, we have a function called execute command, which will first it has like user ID, restaurant ID and item ID, right? So first it will get all the items from that particular restaurant ID of the particular user. If the items are so we are removing the corresponding item ID from the list of added items. So this is like removing the cart. So you can implement the clear cart also. Clear cart is just basically completely making this menu item as like instead of removing, right, we can simply make I think menu ID is dot I think clear or something will be there. See, clear is there, right? So if this can be helpful when you are doing like clear cart command executor. So you can implement your own. So now let's see the main program. So here I'm adding the cart data. So here I'm adding the food menu service. Here I'm adding the list of cards to be list of commands. So here I'm giving the add cart command and giving the remove cart command. So first I'm trying to add the command. So I was passing user passing the restaurant ID and item biryani. So I was thinking, so I need to add an item called biryani from the Bawarchi restaurant into my cart. So this will work. This will basically add the command like. So similarly, if you want to remove, right, simply you can go like this, like cart command type. So instead of for now I was giving like this, like cart command dot remove item. Remove item. So instead of so I was removing this biryani from Bawarchi from my user, like to my, in my cart list. So this is how like remove and like basically add command basically works like. So anyway, I'll put I already shared entire thing in my GitHub, right? So when you click here, it will take you the exact folder, and you can understand like how exactly things are working like. So this is like basic example of like command design pattern, with cart example and remote example. I hope you got something from this video. If you have any doubts, please feel free to mention in the comment section, so that I will try to reply to all the persons. So yeah, please like and subscribe to my channel, and wait for the next video. And the next video is basically iterated design pattern. So we'll soon meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye.